Would you get your fortune read?
For sure.
He would have hit it and been like, I want my fortune done, and it'd have been some crazy riddle that just basically said, the video is gonna fail processing.
Oh,
You
I
know
love
about
those.
it. Could have been a secret.
Let me explain it like anime does. Haha.
Welcome back to the Eternal Rivals podcast for episode number 7. And we're gonna be hitting the finale of the YorkNew City arc today. I've got my boy Chris here. Say what's good. I got my boy Dustin here, who's never seen Hunter x Hunter.
Yes, sir.
And the very first episode that we went through, it was episode 50. We went through 50 to 60. And that one was when Gon and Killua got caught by the troop for the very first time. And just run through it real quick, like how much danger did you initially think they were in?
Well, like Gon and Killua?
Yeah, the very first thing when they try and trail the troop, they get nabbed.
Oh, you know, I didn't.
At this time they don't even know anything about Kurapika, like being the
Yeah.
chain user and whatnot.
I didn't expect them just to like literally just walk out. You know, I didn't think they'd just be like, "All right, bye." Essentially, I mean, they kind of big brain. What's his name? Samurai sword.
Nobunaga.
Nobunaga. Yeah, I didn't expect him to big brain him. Yeah, I thought they were initially in more danger than what was proposed.
Yeah, because he was really heated because this is right after they find, well, Uvo doesn't return, so they're looking for the chain user, like all hands on deck. And Nobunaga's pissed the most. And then when he runs into the kids, he actually thought that Gon kind of reminded him of Uvo, which I think was hilarious because I don't see how they're similar at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't. The Phantom Troop didn't even know that Uvo was dead. They didn't know that he was in a shallow grave.
You don't know how deep he dug that hole, bro.
I feel like Killua didn't care.
You think
No,
it
Killua
probably
took that.
didn't dig
Nah.
it deep at all. He's probably mad disrespectful with it.
He just I feel like Kurapika's a pretty honorable dude.
You
He'd
think
have
so?
buried him. Yeah.
You think he buried him entirely?
Even a spider?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. He probably put a little rock on top of him too. Like
He buried him
that's your
face
tombstone.
down.
Yeah, I don't think that's very respectful.
I know.
said honorable, not respectful.
Okay.
Yeah, but Kurapika, during that entire thing when they're captured, I like how Killua kind of puts it together and discovers that Kurapika, that made it an issue because now they would be able to get intel, but luckily for them, they didn't get checked for a second time because the troop left, and that's like what you said, Nobunaga dropped the ball when he was trying to guard
They
them.
never mention that either. They never talk about that.
I don't think anyone cared because they were
Yeah.
all like, why do you even want to keep these kids? They're not going to join. And Nobunaga was like, no, you know what? I think this like totally nice kid would definitely join a band of thieves. What are you talking about?
I think that was one of my predictions in the last episode, too. I think as one of you guys asked me, like, do I think the Phantom Troop is going to be annoyed that he just let Gon and Killua run away? I'm like, nah, I don't think they care. I don't really think they care at all.
Mm-hmm.
They're just two kids at the end of the day.
What'd you think about when they were caught, Chris?
The first time?
Yeah, yeah, when they get ensnared, and that's
I mean, I
it's
feel-
almost where we left off last time because we went 50 to 60, but we also kind of touched on 50 last.
Yeah, this is where we kind of
because this is where they bust out.
because they just escaped. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I thought it was fire. Like, they figured out they really outsmarted him. Used the
Yeah.
nen they've learned so far.
Busted
also-
open through the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah, no,
They did it. It was
counterfeiting.
very simple too. Like they didn't do anything too flashy. Like they
Mhm.
did it so simple,
Osmosis.
and he still got caught by it because it was such a like primitive thing.
Yeah. And then that really it gets kicked up a notch from there because they ask him, what are we gonna do now? And the boss just looks at him, he's like, we're gonna do what Uvo would have wanted, go wild. And then that's when Chrollo starts planning and plotting on how he's gonna steal the fortune teller's ability. That's the big key to the Nostrad family's success because her Nen ability allows her to read the fortunes of other people.
His fortunes are eerie.
Very eerie. They're written in some freaking poetic form every single time. Got some
Yeah.
riddles behind them. It's scary.
Yeah,
I would be too scared. Would you have your fortune read?
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What if you're-
Actually, just yesterday, I actually just had some tarot card readings done on me.
What if like your fortune didn't have an ending though? when after she read it to you, because it's like a month in
I'm
the
a,
future.
then I'm gonna live like Uvo. I'm going wild, chief. I'm going wild. I know that's what the poem ends. I just gotta figure out what the last thing I do is and just live it up till then. And also, to be fair, they do say that as long as when you get the fortune, it's not made yet, you can change your fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's got an end, at least I know, like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. Or if it's like an honorable death, maybe I'm doing something right. It might be like like I saved someone and I died doing it.
Possible.
So
Mhm.
it's all up in interpretation. That's what fortunes are, you know.
What about you, Chris? Would you get your fortune read?
For sure. Have to know. I might come up off of it. What do you mean? Like everybody in the mafia is rich because of it. I'm coming up too.
Exactly.
She reading my fortune every month.
He would have hit it and been like, I want my fortune done, and it'd have been some crazy riddle that just basically said, the video is gonna fail processing. Chris would have been like, no.
They
Mm,
don't even
zero
know
blows.
about that. They don't
Zero
even know
blows.
about that. It could have been a secret.
So that's when they plan to go wild, and it just goes through the big montage of the troop just cutting down the mob, basically. And I'd like that you mentioned Finks' ability is cool, where he just basically twists people's necks off.
Yeah.
But I really like how Phaeton is just cutting people's throats. No,
Crazy
no.
is they were really just like out in the streets,
Mhm.
just murdering everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how the mob, who very well knows the troops' abilities because they've already attacked once, they're like, no way, they're doing a frontal attack and they're winning? I can't believe it. This overpowered bunch of thugs are killing us? Wow.
I completely forgot about my Uncle Jim, who just got shot up at the last auction a couple
Exactly.
days ago. I
Exactly.
can't believe this would happen again.
Dude, that's what the mafia gets for trying to show some, like, muscle.
Yeah, and they had that shit locked down like it was a presidential thing. Like they had blocks and blocks of security, and it just didn't
Yup.
even matter.
Not matter in
Crazy
the
is
slightest.
Chrollo snuck in there pretty easily.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he doesn't. It's because when you just look at him, especially with like with a lot of them, a lot of them don't really have like crazy getups. It'd be pretty easy for them just to like just put on some street clothes and there you go.
Just blend in.
Incognito.
Mm-hmm.
As most of their people don't survive to see their faces anyways. They're always dead.
Yeah, he really did like utilize the fact the girl was there because she needed to get in because she snuck in anyway, and but Chrollo had a pass. He was like, because he got in himself.
I also like
So how did Chrollo even get that pass?
I
Who's
don't
her
know.
driver?
Yeah, I know, but he still would have needed a pass to get in.
I also like how Chrollo.
He stole it. He's a thief.
I know, like it.
I like how Chrollo was one like his one piece of garb that was like no one's gonna know who I am. It's just a single headband over his forehead, like anyone in
But
the
it-
public knew about the cross on his forehead.
But that's a
So
very
still gonna wear it.
distinctive thing that would mark him out.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone knew about it though.
You don't think people know the mafia doesn't know about the Phantom Troop?
I
I
don't
have a-
even think people knew what the Phantom Troop looked like until this.
That's what I'm saying. I think they were still like they knew the spiders existed, but they were always recognized by their spider tattoos, not their
Mhm.
cross forehead tattoos.
Still don't even really. I don't know what's up with that forehead Neji tattoo.
Oh yeah, his Neji tattoo. I got no idea, but I liked his fit was pretty nice when he was in Chrollo. He seems like a pretty respectable young man.
Mm-hmm.
I like how he actually he cared for Neon a lot actually.
I don't know.
so?
Because
No.
he wanted something from. This is what I think, because it doesn't really ever tell you how Chrollo's ability works, like specifically. So this isn't spoilers.
manga though.
Well,
Does it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You- When
in the manga,
that doesn't say how his ability. That's like
they tell you
that's
how it
one
works,
part of it.
though.
That doesn't tell you the part I'm about to talk about. The part what I was about to say was we don't really know the extent of his ability. So what if if he steals someone's power, right? Who's to say that if that person dies, he wouldn't lose the power?
there might be like a connection between the
Like
two.
that's
That
what
could
I
be.
was thinking.
I
But
didn't
he
think
might
about
have,
that.
because it did seem like he did form a connection with her. But then at the same time, I don't think Chrollo knows what a connection is,
That's true.
because he doesn't know shit about it even himself, as you would discover later.
And yeah, that's true. I guess it does make sense because after he gets Neon's power, if we do go by the theory that you're under, where like if the person dies, he doesn't get to use the ability anymore, then that would give reason why he told the rest of the spiders to make sure that Neon was safe.
Yeah.
But if
He
it,
wanted her power. That's why he said that.
He already had it.
he already
at
had
that
it
point.
at that point.
Right, but what his theory was saying is like that they can't die. So if
I
she
know, I know,
dies,
that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
no,
That- that's,
yeah,
what,
yeah.
that's what I'm explaining. As like, okay, so that would make sense. But if
Yeah.
the theory isn't right, then
Then
he
it
just
would mean he
cares.
cared about her.
Yeah, so
I, get
I
what
don't
you're
think he
saying.
cared about her at all.
I think he definitely cared about the
I
power
think it could
more.
be. I think I like. Yeah, I don't know if he knows how to care about anything,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I feel like he would at least care about the troop a little bit.
Yeah,
Mm.
nah, he definitely cares about the troop.
I don't think he
gonna go back
realizes
to
it
that.
though.
Nah, he
No.
definitely does.
That he cares about the troop.
Yeah, because he wouldn't be like, "Let's go crazy for Uvo" if he like didn't like, because he said that off himself. Like,
To be fair,
I feel like
yeah.
well, yeah, he did cry
what I'm
when.
saying.
Yeah, he cried a Neon's fortune to him about like what about the calendars and dying and whatnot. He was not happy about it.
Mm. But when Kilo and Gon, before they get caught the second time, and Gon asks Chrollo, he's like, "Why? How are you able to kill people?" Basically,
Yeah,
Second time he's asked. that,
Chrollo is just like, how is it I'm able to kill people? and it looks like he doesn't understand emotion like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
he would be a sociopath. He's
It
an
would be
actual-
it would
he's-
be weird if he cared about Neon. So that makes me theorize. That's why.
you think all their like abilities are sort of built off like the way they were kind of brought up? Like that's why they don't know.
Well,
Because they care about each other, obviously, but they'll kill anybody.
well, that would make sense because Nen is a manifestation of your aura and your mental state, and along with also what's the name for your special ability? Was it your Hazo or whatever?
Hatsu.
Your Hatsu is just pretty much an empowered special attack based on your personality, and your personality is based off how you grew up. So that would make sense that your powers and how you interact with people is still based on your child. Because Nen is just emotion and mental state. That's how like even like the like back when we were back at the auction and they were seeing like the faint hints of Nen and all of the auction equipment. That everyone has Nen, and those are just geniuses that put passion into their work, and it's still something they were brought up to do. It's not like they learned Nen to do that. So their abilities are just stuff that they would want to do, and they're just putting more work into doing it. So bad people are putting more work in to do bad things. Good people are putting more work to do good things.
But what if like good and bad is relative? So what if they don't think they're doing bad?
Well, it's still their power, though. And just being general with it. Yeah, I mean, that's what the character development is. I mean, we get to see later on in this arc that we kind of get Phantom Troop to Civil War going on.
Yeah, that's actually pretty true. It is like a civil war.
Yeah, that was so how was they had their dinner date and whatnot after he stole her powers. They were going to leave. They went to the elevator to go to do the auction and whatnot. And while they were going down the highway, it was just like this little flick of like the fraction of a second, and Neon's just slump.
But beforehand, Nostrad also called and said that like there's somebody's infiltrated. Like he's basically
Oh, yeah.
snitched. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because while the frontal assault's going on, everyone's like, "Oh, they're not gonna get here," and then Mafia number man 273 comes around. There's someone in the building already.
Yeah. And then all this goes down. They go down the elevator. He's walking with her. It's like sneaky chops her in the neck, catches her. It's like, somebody call the ambulance.
It's also pretty lit. They would have never known that would have happened if the 10 Dons didn't hire all the assassins, because one of the assassins was in the security room, and they're like, "Wait, hold up,
He watched the
enhance
frame,
that.
yeah.
enhance that, slow that down,
Enhance.
enhance." That's exactly like the only reason why they knew that where he was at. Because if they didn't hire those assassins, they just would have gone scot free, and everything would have been donezo at that point.
I feel like Kilua's dad and grandpa would have found him
Love that dude.
without help.
I love those two guys. They're
Yeah.
so heartless.
So
Well-
heartless. That's why you love them.
Those
Yeah.
other assassins, did they even know Nen, bro?
Yeah.
The dude with the knife knew Nen?
Well, I feel
Yeah.
like the ones that weren't dressed in outrageous costumes didn't know Nen, but the ones that were in outrageous costumes knew Nen. So,
I
like,
think
the,
they all knew Nen. They were all hunters.
were they all pro hunters?
They were all pro assassins. Why
Pro
would they not know
assassins.
Nen?
Well, I guess you can be an assassin without knowing Nen.
Yeah. Well, you could be an
I doubt
assassin
it.
without being
I
a
fucking
hunter.
highly doubt it. I think they just got clapped because why would the Dons call in the shadow beasts who are, as we got into a very like controversial debate, masters of Nen, and then they would
Yeah.
bring in people that don't know Nen.
That is true.
I
That is a
highly
good
doubt that.
point. That
I
is a
think
good
they just got
point.
clapped because the one dude knew damn well, like you wouldn't have been able to see that kind of chop. You don't
Yeah.
have some sort of power.
Yeah.
So, like he was real quick with that. I thought it was crazy. The one dude got killed with a pen.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
They all
pen
got
through the
killed with
back.
a pen.
A bunch of them, yeah.
They all
There was
got
like a
killed with
whole
the
like
same pen.
string. Yeah, there was like a whole like string of bodies of Chrollo just
Mhm.
sticking nens in
One
their
strike
pen.
is all it took.
And then he
Yeah.
had the indoor fish ability that he stole from someone.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder whose ability that was.
Dude, how did that ability work? It was like it eats chunks out of you, but keeps you alive
Yeah,
Mhm.
until the fish disappear out of an enclosed area. What a condition! No wonder it's broken as hell.
That's got to be a conjurer ability.
Well, yeah, it's just manifesting out of nothing. But I like that condition that it can't be just anywhere. It has to be in an enclosed space. That's probably what makes it like dumb strong.
Yeah,
Oh.
that scene made me mad though.
Did
Like,
it?
Why did he have like he knew where an enclosed space was and just had a remote control for a window to make it a not like an open
Oh,
space.
just to open the shutter.
Yeah, like he picked the perfect room.
Yeah.
Unless he like planned it out like perfectly.
Now Carlos definitely calculated.
I mean,
He's
yeah,
like, I know they're gonna hide that remote under the couch.
out of all of the troop members, I would expect Chrollo, the boss, to be the well, he is the brains of the operation. He's the leader. So yeah, I wouldn't. He's the one person I'm not surprised that would actually unironically walk up to this man and be like, heh, calculated. So I think that would make sense. I don't think that fight pissed me off too much.
Why did it piss you off just the slightest? Like what?
Because I didn't get to see the other guy's powers. I didn't get to see the actual
Bro,
fight.
I
just got
don't
to see
think
the
he had
remnants.
powers.
He saw the Nen strike.
He was already dead from the rip. He stabbed him in the forehead with a pen, stuck him to the wall, and then the fish just kept eating him.
Yeah. Still, I think he had Nen powers. He definitely had Nen powers. He just got beat.
I just think he had like super senses like Gon. Like Gon could have sensed like that.
What
saw
makes
that
you
chop.
think they don't have powers?
Just none of them use the power.
That doesn't mean you don't have an ability though. They didn't even get a chance. Like we didn't even see any of the fights.
I guess that's.
We only saw
I feel like if you know Nen, like,
Silva and his father fight. Those are the only assassins that we saw fight.
Yeah, because that wasn't a really important one.
I would have been salty if we didn't see that. I would have been really salty if I didn't get to see Silva
More
fight.
more salty than Kurupka, who had to sit outside and right as he's about to go inside gets called away.
Yes.
Doesn't get the fight.
Yeah, because I want to see Silva fight. I've seen Kurupka fight. I want to see Silva fight.
How'd you think of it, man? Like they walk in. I like how they both pick the two separate doors and then
Dude,
they just solo push it open and walk in, and Chrollo's just sitting there anticipating them.
yeah.
they all really just knew what it was.
Yeah.
They knew it was inevitable. Like they could play the cat and mouse game and chase each other around the
Mm-hmm.
hotel, but like it's like nah, might as well just pick a place where it's an open area. No one has an advantage. We'll just get this over with.
Yep. Just handle this on the court.
Yeah, exactly.
Silva fought like Frieza. He had like all the death balls and everything, man. He literally just used like single fingers and just caused these giant energy Nen balls and just started attacking like he was Frieza.
I like how he just looks at him and then he's just like, okay. And then just slowly starts walking towards him with his
Yeah.
backhand raised, like he's about to
Yeah.
come up and slap him. He's like, as soon as you get a chance, kill him, even if you kill both of us.
Yeah.
And then Silva's just like, okay.
yeah.
He doesn't even flinch.
I don't think I've seen that man blink once. I don't think Silva can blink. I'd be surprised if he got like
He removed
eye-
his eyelids
Yeah,
to
so he's
close, so he never closes his
He's
eyes.
always aware, man. If you check his pockets, it's just like 3 bottles of eye drops.
3 bottles of Hydra.
Hey, always stay ready.
Gotta be prepared. Yeah.
That was such a great fight. I loved it because I like the strategy breakdown of it, honestly. Like, the direct attack came from, I forget what's his granddad's name.
Don't know.
Zeno. Yeah, the direct attack was Zeno, and he just kept on using his dragon to try and like capture him and make him so he couldn't move. And then Silva just starts sprinting around in circles because he's just gonna use one direct strike as soon as he's off balance. The only thing was to counter that, Chrollo just waited until the very last second to dodge the attack.
Yep.
So that way, if Silva would have went to jump in and hit him when he was off balance, he would have himself got hit by Zeno's attack. And like it was just perfect the way he did that.
They
Like
also-
perfect reaction skills and everything. They're actually even giving him props like as he's fighting them.
Yeah, they also figured out some of the conditions of his ability. Like he can only use the abilities of people that he's stolen when he has his book out and when it's open. So if his book's either closed or not with him, any abilities that he has stolen, he can't use. So effectively, Chrollo was forced to fight with one hand at all times,
Yeah.
which I think that's pretty important. It's also cool that they picked up on that like quick, but I guess it makes sense. They are the assassin family.
Chrollo needs to find someone that's ability is to grow Nen hands. That way he has more.
Oh my god, can you
Then he can be more OP.
imagine? He'd be like Shiva. God forbid this man conjures up 2 books.
Who says he can't?
Who says he can't?
Oh shit. Oh, damn. That's broken as hell. That would be broken. Yeah. So then like the fight comes to conclusion and they kind of like had Chrollo like on death's door there for a minute. Like they were about
Death's
ready.
door?
They were well, yeah. No.
He was trying to steal their power the whole time. That's why he was chilling.
Yeah, but he was never going to be able to. He even said it himself. He was never going to be able to. So I think
Not
ultimately,
both of them at the same time.
yes, I don't think they were going to be
So
able to separate
you're
them. though.
both jumping towards my next question. Who do you think would have won if it kept going?
The assassins.
Dep-
Absolutely.
Depends what a win is.
A win is
Well, for
not dying.
yes,
Well, Zeno would have died with Chrollo.
yeah, and he was fully accepted.
So
it.
who wins?
Silva.
That's 1-1, bro.
So that's what you think? It would have been Zeno and Chrollo dead?
Yeah, because we literally saw it.
No, he didn't. What are you talking about?
He didn't die.
Zeno grabbed him and he was about to go slaughter him.
Yeah.
That attack hit. It blew up half the building.
Oh yeah, because that's when
That
Chrollo
was
went
another
around.
thing that I was gonna say, cause like that didn't make much sense. Cause like that attack hit and nobody got hurt.
That's
I
true.
wonder how like he got out of that.
Outrageous 10, I guess.
Center has no plot holes.
No plot holes, none at all. But I think that I 100% believe that Silva would have came out the victor. Yeah, Pops would have been dead, but he was already fully accepted that. And also, this is the assassin family. Silva, he doesn't care if his father dies. It doesn't matter. It's about fulfilling the contract.
He was
That's-
like 80 years old anyway.
yeah, he lived a full life of taking other lives. But it was really cool because while this was happening, made a call to gosh, what's his name? The other brother, killer was
Yumi.
Yumi, and did you see the? Did you look at like with the text message? There was like a little heart on it too. He's I guess I have known you longer than Chrollo.
Yeah, I love that line. He's just like as indifferent. Like they're both my friends, but
They're both esteemed clients. And then he goes and then just yeets the 10 Dons. And then Silva and Zeno are like, well, we're not getting paid now. So contract's not going to get fulfilled. And they just stop. Everyone just stops. It's like a full halt. And they're like, all right, well, till next time, I guess.
Wasn't worth the money anyway.
That's true. It was not worth the money. Well, I guess I've been worth at least 10 Dons money. They were there.
it really
Were they
goes
there?
to-
They died.
But I meant like the assassins were there because of the 10 Dons money. Yeah. But yeah, I liked all the intricacies of that. I like how I think why I like the Silva family so much is because out of all these multi-sided characters, they have remained, except for Killua, to be the most extremely one-sided characters. And I don't know, I think it's a nice little foil to what all the other characters I've seen that have like these many sides. These guys are just assassins.
What
They're
did
just
you
really
think?
good.
What did you think about their abilities?
I liked them. I feel like Silva definitely still has more that is yet to be shown. I feel like he wasn't fighting at like necessarily full strength because I feel like he was working with to support his father. Zeno is a like dragon style martial arts sort of like Nen ability stuff was like really neat. It reminded me a lot of One Punch Man actually.
Where does that fight rank on your favorite fights?
In
Chris?
this series so far.
Number 1.
This is your favorite fight?
Number 1.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Because Chrollo literally just dip, duck, dodged all that stuff, bro. It's like,
True.
that was fire.
Without even
And like
trying.
these, if you think about it, Zeno and Silva are two of the most powerful Nen users probably in the whole Hunter x Hunter world that we know so far.
That's
So
true.
like that was epic to me when I first saw it. I was like, oh my god, you're watching lightning dragons, like that's crazy. What do you think their their Nen ability? What category does it fall under? What do you think?
Okay. So I would say that Silva definitely knows a lot of emitter abilities because he was just like, well, did he launch like the balls he was conjuring with his hand, or was he just kind of like dragging them across the wall or whatever? I can't remember.
I don't think we got to see.
Yeah. Zeno is definitely a conjurer, 100%. The man just made dragons out of nothing, and they weren't even like pussy dragons or anything like that. They were large and dangerous dragons.
But do you think they were dragons made out of Nen?
Yes.
Then wouldn't that make them? Well, I guess anything conjured is made out of Nen, actually.
Yeah.
But if he changes the quality of it, like the quality of his aura into a dragon, what would that be? That would be transmuter, right?
No, so what it is if he made an actual dragon, he'd be conjuring a dragon.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like an actual
It
dragon.
was made of electricity.
So is that like an emitter then?
It's a transmuter
A
because he
transmu-
made the electricity, his aura into the electricity. That's the dragon.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I think I was just so fixated on the transmuter bit with Hisoka and like his like second skin stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like
yeah.
so I, like
you have
every
to
time
realize it's his aura coming out of his body. Like so, Hisoka's is that bungee gum.
You're right. Okay.
So that's his
okay.
transmuter thing.
Okay.
Texture surprise isn't. What is texture surprise? Do you know, Tommy? Like what it falls under?
I think.
It's still transmutation.
I think that's still transmutation because he's changing what it looks like.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
using his art to cover it, I guess, and then change the look of it.
Mhm. There's gonna be one person in the comments like, but actually, yeah. So that's a bold thing to say. Favorite fight. I mean, it's not. I could agree with it. It's definitely up there. I didn't expect you to say that though. Favorite fight.
I mean,
He did say from what
Is
we've
it
seen
even
so
like
Yeah,
a
I mean,
fight?
it is your favorite arc.
is it even like a fight though?
I would say it's a fight.
Yeah, I'd say it's a fight. I don't think. Yeah, I definitely like after you explain it a little bit. Chrollo definitely probably wasn't giving it his all. He was kind of like holding himself back a bit because he wanted their abilities, but still,
Every fight is my favorite fight as long as they're fighting. Cool with me.
that's ruthless, man.
Love
As
seeing-
long
I
as
love
they
seeing-
Fight, I love it.
I'm like Hisoka. I'm in the crowd like, oh, that ability. Oh, he's kind of strong. Oh, stuff. I'm like, oh, y'all don't watch Black Clover? I'm like the Wizard King. He's an ability. He's like,
I have watched enough Black Clover to
Whoa.
see the Wizard King, kind of like, wow.
yeah.
I haven't seen that before. I've
Sugoi.
watched enough to know that.
Thanks. That's how I feel with every fight when I see powers. But ew.
I mean, Chrollo's got to be the same way, right?
What?
That is exactly the same way he
Yeah,
is. He's like,
yeah.
ooh, a power.
He sees the power and he's like, that's nice. How could I get that?
Yeah. How can I kill people with this?
The one thing that I wanted to mention about this, because I had to send it to both of you guys because my mind was so blown when I first saw it. But the Ben's knife that Killua
Oh,
and
yeah.
Gon saw in the marketplace that had the little bit of residual Nen on it, Chrollo ends up stealing that. And I don't know, I love that little detail that they added in because he just really is out here stealing
it's the same one?
everything. I feel like it's got to be the same one because why else would they have like shown it? Like if they specifically made it a Ben's knife.
Killua did say that, like, I thought it was different than the Ben's knife they saw.
I think it was different from the actual knife they saw, but still from the auction they explained about the Ben's
Yeah, and
knife.
he had a
so
Ben's knife. It was just
Yeah.
pure coincidence that he had a Ben's knife.
I gotta go look at it.
I don't know
It's,
if it was-
it's true. It wasn't the same one.
I don't know. Was it pure? I don't know. Regardless, it was still cool that they still called back on something like that. That's just once again another reason.
It's
why
crazy
I
that a
like it
Ben's
is.
knife. If they basically say that like a Ben's knife, like since it cut Silva, a
Mhm.
Ben's knife would be like it has aura. So like if you like cut him with a regular knife, it wouldn't cut him.
Yeah.
So but
Yeah.
a Ben's knife cuts.
Nah,
him.
the one only had. Oh wait, why would they have aura?
Well, it's a
The
10.
knife?
It's the same reason like why they get.
But that was because the one specific dude put up a lot of effort into making it.
Well, I feel like that'd be with all of his Ben's knives though.
Yeah.
Like one guy makes the same.
That's
like,
why it's a Ben's knife. The guy bends. It's
that's
not like
his
a,
name.
Yeah.
It's like a Bowie knife.
If you had something, wouldn't you name it after yourself? If you made a knife, Tom's knife, what you mean?
Tom's knife.
Well,
That's a
my
pretty
name
good
is
name.
Tommy, but I'm pretty sure that a dude named Tommy doesn't make every Tommy gun. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
No, that's
called
just
a
that's
Thompson.
nickname for for it. No, dude.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I would assume it's a
no,
nickname.
Well, think about like the Bowie knife. The Bowie knife was created by named Jim Bowie, but it's still the same.
Okay, but
knife.
he doesn't make every Bowie knife in the world.
I see what you're saying, but I mean, maybe for like maybe he doesn't make a lot of them. Maybe that's why they're so rare. So the Ben's knife is made by Ben's because there's not many of them. You know.
I don't know. I just want to shit on my little detail.
No, I like it. I like how we actually know what a Ben's knife is. Like, it makes sense to me. It's not just like, ooh, that's a legendary blade he's holding from a renowned sword maker, knife maker. Means nothing to me. But now that I know what a Ben's knife is, it means something to me.
Right. It's almost like a samurai sword.
Yeah, exactly. Like a katana, thank you.
Same thing.
I'll cut you.
Anyway, that ending up with they get out of the situation because they have Kurotopi make fake bodies of the troop members. And then he goes and makes fake merchandise for the next day. Well, actually, he does it at the same time. They end up, instead of attacking the next auction, they actually just hijack the auctioneer. And then they make fake doubles of all of the merchandise. And then they keep the real merchandise, which I thought was pretty cool. And like you find out later on, but he's able to track people through.
Yeah, he's got his N attached to it.
I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty sick. Like, how long does it ever explain how long he's able to keep a fake like active, or they just never go away?
I don't think they explain how long like the actual like the fake object like stays around. They did clarify though that he needs to have the original object in hand to track it, and that he can only track it for like 4 or 5 hours. So I don't know, maybe like after he's done tracking it, if it like evaporates or something like that. But yeah, that's so far the limitations we've seen.
Yeah, because he had the eyes for a minute. Like it took
Yeah.
like a couple days that the eyes were still fakes up in their apartment.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up being pretty substantial at the end.
Do you think you could detect them with Yo or whatever
Yo,
Yo?
that they're fake.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I
Yeah.
think you'd be able to tell that Nen was used on them.
I think it's just crazy that no one ever finds out that they were all just.
But with the
copied.
eyes, how would you tell? Do you think the eyes have none?
That's a good point too. The eyes might.
That is a good question. I have no idea.
Because they are, like, the eyes themselves are almost like an ability.
Yeah.
It's
they are
almost like a whole
special.
ability. Ooh.
They're special in themselves.
Because that literally makes you a specialist.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, what I was thinking was if the Phantom Troop really massacred the Kurta clan, did they not know how to use Nen? Like, a lot of them not know how to use Nen or something?
If they were a small child, probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same question with, like...
There was, like, I thought that I actually just recently was looking at, like, Kurupka's backstory, like, the little video, because, like, one of the movies, they touch on it, but I think it said something like 66 members or so, like, 60-plus members of the clan were killed, like, less than 100, so there probably wasn't, like, that many of them,
people.
but that's still a lot of people for
I assume
just
they
the
were, like,
troop.
Amish people living out in the middle of nowhere, though. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
just
like,
had a
not
small little
fighters.
village.
Yeah, so even if they know Nen, they still can't fight effectively, you know? I mean, I guess it's like the same question as, like, with the Uchiha massacre, you know?
Well, I
Like-
have the same question about that, too.
Well, yeah. I mean, they
They were just basically, like,
I feel like specifically with the Uchiha massacre, when they awakened their Sharingan, they were just able to see themselves die slower because they had better reflexes, but they still died.
mhm.
No.
Yeah, it was just, that sucks. But yeah, that's a good question. I think that the eyes would if you used... Wait, no, because then if you used Gyo and the eyes do have Nen on them, you would never be able to hide if you were Kurupka. Because, like, they'd be able to just see the outline of your eyes.
Those eyes aren't always right.
Well, yeah, but still, it's
But
still
the eyes would still have
eyes.
'em.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is weird, like...
But I imagine the person, if the eyes are still in your head, you'd probably have a little more control over that. I'm sure when they get dislodged from you, you can't control those eyes anymore, but...
Yeah, because they're always active
well,
in the jar. Or
yeah.
maybe the
Oh,
water
yeah.
they're in makes them active or something
Yeah,
weird.
that's another thing, yeah. The eyes in there.
You could, I guess, headcanon it away.
Again, it's the same problem with the fucking Sharingan eyes that Danzo collected. He collected eyes, and these all still were activated with Sharingan. Eyes, man, how do they work? Nose.
Anime, bro.
Anime, bro. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I like how they created a fake double. I also was kind of so. Did the rest of the troop just meet up? Like they all suddenly everyone's in that open room now.
What open room where they're doing the doubles?
Yeah, like just everyone
Yeah.
just shows up. Just boop. There we go. But honestly, that makes me rethink
They-
about
when
the Silva fight. Because if Chrollo could have just waited out long enough, he would have the entire spiders backing him up, and then Silva and his father would have had a dip,
Mm-hmm.
or they would have been restrained, and then he would have gotten their powers, and then. So
The
actually, I think Chrollo actually would have won if because he, like you said, he was dipping
Zeno
and
said
diving
if
and everything.
Chrollo was trying to kill them, he probably could have.
Yeah, in a 1v2, if Chrollo was trying to kill
That's
him.
what he said.
You think it was like a Sasuke Naruto thing?
I'm not
do you
trying
mean
to
by
kill
that?
you.
Like Naruto wasn't trying to kill Sasuke?
No, like Chrollo wants his power. So, like you said with your theory, I think that Chrollo's power, he can't kill them to steal their power.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because Zeno does say, like, it depends. Are you gonna try to kill us? Because he knew he wasn't trying to kill them back. He
probably,
was just dipping and dodging everything.
they'd probably kill themselves before they get their power stolen anyways.
What the hell has Chrollo been through that he's just a natural god at fighting?
Dude, that man is just a sociopath. He
Look
was
how you say that for Chrollo, not Uvo. It's literally
yeah,
the
but
god of
he's
fighting.
just really husky. I know how he got strong. He went to the freaking
He went
the
to 12
Meteor City
They're all from
meat
Meteor
house
City.
and just started freaking lifting.
Meteor City's got to be crazy.
Yeah.
I would love. I wonder what. YorkNew City,
New York City, yeah.
yeah, is based off of that. So what's Meteor City built off of? I don't know.
Nuketown.
Nuketown.
It's like
Nuketown.
that.
Okay.
That's what I picture when I think Meteor
Kinda-
City.
Well, it's a place where everyone just dumps trash, right?
Yeah.
My vote is New Jersey.
Bro, it's Camden. It's Camden. Meteor City is Camden. Oh my gosh. Shit, for all we know, it could be Wilmington.
Carlos got a Jersey accent.
Joy, yeah, he's been hiding this whole
He
time.
does look like he from Jersey.
This fucking yo, I love his.
I
cut.
didn't know New Jersey had a hot topic.
Yo, water.
Yeah. But then anyway, they finished the fake auction, and then that's when they head back to their lair, and Chrollo's, you know, he wants to test out his ability, his newly acquired fortune telling
Oh,
ability.
I love this.
But
scene
of
so
course
much.
he can't tell his own fortune. That's one of the drawbacks of the power. So but what I liked is he found out that a detail and then was like, all right, bet, before I steal your power, will you do my fortune?
Mm.
So he gets his fortune from the girl, then he gets the power, and then he tells the troop members' fortunes, except for the founding members, because
Apparently, they didn't have the data.
they didn't
to
have
do
the
it.
data because they don't know like when they were born or things
Dude, that blew
like
my
that.
mind. I was sad when they said that. I was trying to sit there and think, like, okay, so did they refuse? That's not likely. So did these people just forget their own birthday and real name? How long have they been in this where they've just completely assumed and threw away their old identity? That was kind of like blew my mind a little bit.
I liked
They're
how
committed.
Hisoka could have just said he didn't know his information, but instead let his fortune get told, and then went through that whole fiasco of having to lie about it later,
Not only did
just probably for the fucks.
not only just a lie about
Just
it,
'cause
but
he's
he
bored.
he textured surprised it too.
Hmm.
I thought that was cool.
That was pretty slick.
It's because Hisoka is confident in his abilities. He's 100% like, yeah, no, I can fool these troop members. Because he doesn't see them as equals. He doesn't see any of them except for Chrollo as equals.
He also doesn't have a losing scenario. Like the worst case scenario, what? They're gonna fight me? I want that anyway.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
he's not gonna be screwed no matter what he really does.
I guess his only losing scenario is that if he never gets a chance to fight Chrollo ever again, that's his losing scenario.
Mm-hmm. I know you can't wait till we get to that.
I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, but
I
what
made
did
it
you
my Discord picture.
what did you like about the fortunes, that when everyone got their fortunes told?
Again, it's like back to just like liking neons, like how the fortunes are told in the poems. I like how intricate and I like, for instance, like in the poems they describe the spiders as calendar months, but they just said like calendar, just to keep it
Well,
easy.
and you didn't watch the one on Crunchyroll?
Oh, is it different? Is the
Yeah.
translation different?
Yeah, the translation is completely different. So what Tommy knows and what Juno are two completely different things.
Oh, seriously?
yeah,
Really?
yeah. The translations are completely different.
That's insane. I didn't know that.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that either. What is
Yeah.
it?
I don't know it off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
that'd be kind of impressive. That'd be really impressive if you do every fan
But
and
they're
true
different.
translation.
They're different.
What
So
I
you're
got.
saying you're a fake fan then? You don't know?
No,
them off
I've
the top of
watched
your head?
both. I'll probably mix them up and be like, he said this and this
That's
one.
true.
What I've got.
And
Shizuku's fortune was. The calendar loses a precious component, which was Uvo's death.
Mhm.
Because like if you
They all
remember,
had that.
the ability says something that already happened in the very beginning of the, and it says the remaining months gather to mourn, which is what they were doing. You join your allies in offering. So she's immediately like, well, shit, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
You join your allies in offering to keep him from being lonely. You will find eternal rest in a room filled with black merchandise. What do you think that meant? In a room filled with black merchandise.
Black merchandise. So that could also, so that could translate to black market merchandise. So it could involve where, they made copies of everything and they kept all of the originals. So maybe not necessarily like she's protecting it, but she might have a fight in the room of all of it because obviously, like, eventually I would imagine they would find out that all of the stuff that they auctioned off were fake and not real. So maybe they hire out Gone and Gang after Greed Island or whatever, and they have like a standoff or whatever inside the room. She might be tasked with like protecting it anyways.
You said after Greed Island. It wouldn't be that long.
Oh, I don't know how that.
No, the fortunes end up changing.
It goes by the month.
Yeah.
Each verse is like a week.
The black. So then maybe it's not.
So
that.
it never ended up happening.
The thing is, like, this is hard because what Dustin knows is different from what you just read. Like, that's not what it was when Dustin saw it.
Yeah. What,
like, how different is it though?
It's completely different. They don't say the same thing at all.
You could just look like you watched yours on Crunchyroll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched mine on Hulu. So
What does yours say? You don't
can't-
know it.
I can't remember. I remember the only bit that I know for sure that is like the same was the first two poems. The last two about the black merchandise, that rings no bells to me. I do not
That's what I'm
remember hearing
saying.
that at all. But for gathering to mourn and talking about the calendars and losing the component and whatnot, that does sound familiar. But the black merchandise stuff, that's like no idea. I have no idea what that could possibly.
You didn't get that? That's so weird.
And that's translations for you, man. I mean,
I
that
didn't know that because when I watched it, the second time I watched it on Netflix, and Chrollo said some wild shit for his fortune, and I was like, this is not what he said.
I feel like the Netflix would be wrong.
It's the same as what's on Hulu though.
I feel like that would be wrong.
Oh damn.
Because Crunchyroll is the official fucking source. They better at least hire someone that knows knows a little
Well,
Japanese.
it's all still a kind of a rough translation.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
still.
it makes sense because we're talking about translating a different language in a poem, which already uses
The
other
riddle.
already uses other words to mean other things, and then you gotta translate to English and then somehow still make it rhyme. There's already a problem in that.
Nah, see, it didn't. Did it rhyme in yours when you watched it?
No,
I say it doesn't rhyme.
but when I mean rhyme, it still flows though. Poems don't have to rhyme; they still
Yeah.
gotta flow. I guess is what I mean. It still has to flow correctly.
It just seemed wrong in the translation that's not on Crunchyroll. It seemed wrong. I felt weird watching it.
Oh, well, maybe I have to revisit the Crunchyroll ones, and then before I continue on those. Still thought they were really cool though, regardless.
I mean, you don't have to. It's already over, bro.
Yeah, it's
Translations aside, the end result is the same. Hisoka's fortune obviously snitches on him that what really I like about it is he could have changed his entire fortune and still kept it so that way they know that he snitched on Uvo. Like he didn't have to do that at all, but he keeps it and then makes it so that way that Kurapika used his sword of law upon him. That's what mine said, at least.
That's what mine said.
Okay,
too.
yeah. And then made him follow his will, which I was bringing up to Chris was strange because that's actually kind of like Kurapika's actual power.
Yeah.
And Hisoka doesn't know that.
Yes, with the
Hunter x Hunter has no plot holes.
No plot holes at all. To be fair, it's a fortune.
Yeah, unless he told him his power when they were discussing information, but that would have like been beyond stupid.
That's a big plot hole.
This is also where Hisoka once again had another like gasm inside the hideout.
Yeah, he did.
I knew you were brilliant.
Yeah, because Chrollo's figuring him out, or figuring out what he wanted him to figure out.
Exactly. You big brain Chrollo.
Yeah. Chrollo acted exactly how Hisoka knew he would,
Dude,
and he got him. The part about that I love the most though was when it cuts over to Nobunaga as he's starting to like realize, and he walks up to him and draws his sword, and he's like, "Did you sell out Uvo?" And then the episode just ends. That shit was hardcore.
yeah.
It's like, oh my god, they're
Dude-
gonna fight.
Dude, speaking of like Hisoka and him being in the troop still at this time, you never see this guy like really participate in a lot of the missions that the Phantom Troop goes on. Like occasionally, like like when Gon and Killua first got imprisoned, like yeah, he's always like, oh, if you move, I'll cut you, and he had the card to Killua's neck or whatever. But after that, he doesn't really like show up for any of the other like missions. He wasn't there at the hotel with Chrollo and all that. He wasn't really anywhere, all this other stuff. So it makes me want to wonder, like, how did the troop not figure out that, like, okay, his at a minimum, like, Hisoka, you're kind of putting your weight into this a little bit.
Yeah.
He just didn't do much for the actual troop.
No, he really didn't. He just sat there. But then he gave himself an alibi for doing nothing. Because when the fortune was told,
yeah.
it was like, if you leave your temporary shelter, you'll die.
Oh yeah, I cannot speak.
That
I
was
cannot
smart
tell
because
you.
like it gave him the excuse to not have to do anything ever.
Truly, like, he's the most efficient bad guy. He only does things when he needs to do it.
My thing is like, can Iyumi copy voices? Because like, what if somebody was like, "Hey Hisoka, grab me a beer" or something, while it was just him? Giraku would. No, get yourself.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, but Hisoka sneaks out.
So
Which was hilarious. But anyway, he tells the troops fortunes, and then he's like, "Did you sell out Uvo?" And you think they're about to fight, but Chrollo uses another power, which I thought was crazy because it like sent Nobunaga, teleported him, and that's kind of like wild because I feel like he could have used that in a bunch of different situations if he has the ability to teleport.
yeah, that's true.
I thought that was pretty crazy. This dude's got some freaking range.
Yeah.
But I really like the vibe of towards the end, because in the beginning they're really like well knit as a group, and like you said, this is almost like kind of a civil war breaking out here.
Yeah,
Like they're starting to lose it
we
at
come
this
full
point.
circle that some of the troop members are not sociopaths. They're actually they have some resemblance of like caring for their other members, because they have the whole argument like, okay, so we are just not gonna let half of our spider die. The one I can't remember the one big guy's name that has the giant earlobes and also can shoot bullets. Franklin. He seemed like the one of the more sane ones, because like he understood where some of the more compassionate members wanting to preserve the boss to not die and whatnot. But he also reckons like, well, but also we just rebuild the spider. But he wasn't so aggressive and hostile about it.
Because that's what Chrollo would want.
Yeah, it is what Chrollo would want. I feel like he was the only one that was really truly speaking for what Chrollo would want. I feel like the other lads, they just wanted just more mayhem, death, and destruction. They didn't really care about the spider actually. They just wanted the kid. They didn't want the fun to stop really.
While all of this is going on back at the spider's base, they're kind of imploding. Meanwhile, we're getting almost kind of like a bigger sense of unity with Gon and Gang back at the Gon and Gang, stole your phrase. Gon and Gang back at the hotel or wherever they're at, because Gon at this point, he's like, "Noah, I'm in," because when he got kidnapped the first time, he saw the hypocrisy in the troop of mourning over the death of one of their own while still killing a bunch of people. And at that point, Gon is like, "No, they're hypocrites. I'm invested. I want to help stop the Phantom Troop." And Killua is like, "Please don't make us do this," but he's not gonna tell him not to. And Kurapka's like, "You would be risking your lives if you do this," and Gon's like, "Yeah, I know." And Killua is just like, "That's what he wants to hear."
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Oh,
I loved
yeah.
that dynamic. Like, stop, say no, say no.
Killa's been acting kind of like the Deadpool of the gang a little bit. He's always looking at
Fourth
the
wall
camera.
breaks.
Yeah, he's always breaking the fourth wall a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the significance of that scene when they sit down and and Kurapka's like, I appreciate your resolve and everything like that, and after he lets Killua and Liario leave the room so that he can talk to Gon about what needs to be done, and Kurapka kind of like, well, just to make sure you keep my secrets power, I can put a little dagger around your heart with a rule that if you ever talk about it, and Gon's just totally fine with it because he's like Kurapka said, he's got the resolve.
Yeah.
And then out pop like fucking Scooby Doo, Liario and Killua from the back of the. Hey, can you make more of those daggers?
Yeah.
Dude, they're just really willing to just die for their friends. Crazy, crazy to me.
They never end up doing it though, because
No.
Kurapika would never take that risk for like unforeseeable things happening. Like I thought last week you brought up what if he accidentally used his chains on Hisoka, what would happen? And I thought that was cool because Kurapika started thinking about that almost exactly. He was like, I started thinking about the rule I set, so I got rid of it because what if a bunch of like technicalities happened? I think the one that he pointed out was like, what if I used my chains on myself?
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's
you know what I
was,
mean?
if he
He's like, I
himself, yeah.
think that I could use my chains on myself because like I should be an exception, but what if I'm not?
Yeah.
Like things like that made him redefine his rule, and I was just really glad that like we were able to have like he sat down and really explained his power, like what each individual ability did, you know, the risks he's taking and operating it, and like you said, like they really care about their friends, especially if you're willing to let them know this, knowing damn well that one of the enemy's abilities is to be able to read minds. Like you got to have a lot of trust.
A lot of trust. But yeah. Also, how would that break the rule? Like if she read their memories, would they die? Like assuming that they did go through and have the rule set put onto them.
What was the rule set that he wanted?
I'm pretty sure it was that just so that they wouldn't reveal Kurapka's powers or identity.
Oh God. Yeah, then I mean I feel like they would have died.
Yeah.
Like things like that you really got to think about. It's like when you get 3 wishes from a genie and you wish for $1 million and you get $1 million hairs. Like you got to be really specific.
Oh yeah, there's
when
a term
you're
for
setting
that.
your ability.
It's called the monkey's paw.
Monkey's paw?
Yeah.
I never heard that.
I don't know why it's called that, but it's called that.
Yeah.
You got to be super specific with a genie.
What you think, Chris? What you think about Gon and Gang's resolve going into this final battle? Because they really know, like, the Phantom Troop is stronger than everybody in that group, save for Kurapka, maybe. And that's only because his ability is special. So, like, you know, it's a lot of risks, but they still willingly accept it.
I mean, it just shows how strong their bond is, really. They just are saying, basically, hey, we're your friends. We'll ride or we'll die for you. Like, it doesn't matter. Like...
Yeah.
Our friendship is deeper than anything, so like they're gonna try to help each other.
That's true. It's the literal. It's almost the literal interpretation of ride or die.
Yep.
Do you remember what?
They also got in a car too.
Do you remember? Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Do you remember what their original plan was, like before they got stuck in traffic?
I actually don't remember. Oh, they were gonna ambush them when they got out of the train station.
And they got stuck in traffic, so they couldn't get them.
Well, not only they got stuck in traffic, but someone like tipped them off, and they just started wham. Oh no, Kurapika got pissed off. That's
No,
what it was.
no. They started dipping because Squalla took the Scarlet Eyes. Because the reason they were able to triangulate their position was because Kurotopi can track fake merchandise, and Chrollo is mad because he didn't think of this earlier, but why is the chain user got a vendetta against them, and who does he work for? And when they looked at who they worked for, being the girl, and then looked at their bids, they saw that they had bought a pair of Scarlet Eyes. So he was able to work out that this must be a person with Scarlet Eyes, and they must be where the Scarlet Eyes
That's
are
when they
at.
tracked it at the end.
And then Squalla just like, you thought he was getting the good role because he didn't have to go out with Neon, but he
Yeah.
got the short end. And they made it so, like, because they didn't spend a lot of time making you care about Squalla, so they just load him up with 10 freaking dogs, a couple puppies, like a relationship, a grieving widow.
And also
like,
he loves a woman. Yeah.
Right, like you got to make sure that we all care about this guy because you know you're about to just off him. But that's why I respect him,
Like
because
you
at the
said,
end of the day,
death flag. They
Death
should've-
it's a death flag, and at the end of the day, he still never ratted out Kurapka, even with everything he had to lose.
I mean, Kurapka kind of led him to his death a little bit.
Squalla?
Yeah, Kurapika led Squall to his death a little bit because Kurapika told him that they were after the Scarlet Eyes, so Squall goes, "Oh, I'm getting the hell out of here."
Yeah, but he didn't have to fucking. I would. He said he quit his job today. Like as soon as I heard him say he quit today, I was like, he's dying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm one day away from retirement.
Yeah. No, but I get what you're saying. He tried to finish his job. He should have just left him.
Well, all the Kurapika had to do was not call him. Because if the plan worked out, he wouldn't. The Phantom Troop never would have gone to the Scarlet Eyes to begin with. So reality, there was no reason for Kurapika to tell Squall that they were after the Scarlet Eyes and they were on their way. Because if the plan would have worked out and they would have not been in a rush, then it would have worked out. But since he told him about Squall and then Mini Homie realized that the Scarlet Eyes were in the move, then they had to pick up the pace. So Kurapika kind of screwed over his own plan. Maybe that's why he was so upset with himself.
Facts.
And why he once again gave in to his rage. Once again. And then almost had Gon and Killua die for it.
Yeah, he gave into his rage, starts dipping after the Phantom Troop.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Once again, just like what I texted you, I think it's hilarious that Kurapika's disguise is that he's a girl. Once again.
I'm trying to tell you, man. The very last chapter of Hunter x Hunter, they're going to be like, Kurapika was a girl the whole time.
Gon and Kurapika get together and have children.
Please stop right now. Do you say go?
Bro.
Did he say go?
It's gonna be a time skip, bro. You're gonna find out in the time skip.
It would be Leorio if he was a girl.
If anything,
Yeah.
it would be Leorio.
That's true. Leorio. Yeah,
Especially with that little send-off where he's like, take care of Kurapika for me, to Melody. Actually, my
yeah.
prediction for Leorio is Melody is going to break the curse and turn into a bad bitch again, and Leorio is going to wife her up.
Yeah.
She breaks the curse and she's still ugly.
Ooh, it was actually an improvement.
That would suck.
That'd be rough.
That would be rough indeed.
Yeah, imagine having a curse makes you look better.
A curse.
Possible.
This is possible. It's definitely possible. Also, once again, in this entire 10 episodes, Leorio learns nothing new with Nen. Again, it's never going to happen. I'm convinced. This dude's not going to know anything. He's not going to know anything.
Well, Kurapika gives into his rage, and he chases after the Phantom Troop, and then Gon and Killua obviously chase after him. And
They do a hot swap.
yeah, and then when they end up getting caught, and I thought it was actually kind of smart because Killua didn't know. I don't think they knew Killua followed them as well at first. It was just Gon, right?
They thought there were only 2 people following them. Well, no, they knew that 2 people were following them, and then when they got to the point where they did the quick split, Gon behind the trash can and Kurapika in the alleyway, they never saw the faces of either one. So they thought there was still only just 2 people, and then in comes Killua coming from the alleyway that they jumped in, and then they swapped, and then they come out into the street. Boom, it's Gon and Killua again, and then it's the Phantom Troop with their hands on their heads like, oh, these kids again.
I don't know why it didn't click in their heads. Like, they gotta have something to do with this.
Yeah.
Like, this can't be a coincidence that we've run into these kids so many times.
It's like 3 times now.
It's too many times. They should have put it together.
Yo,
But
and what a weak excuse. We didn't know that the bounties on your heads were gone. Really? But I guess, like, heat of the moment, that is a pretty good excuse. But if you think about it in hindsight, it's like, it's been, like, days.
and it's just funny, and then they take them back, and I like how Melody kind of humbles Kurapika because Kurapika's still mad after all of that, and then Melody's like, you do realize that they just risked their lives for you, and they wouldn't have had to do that if you didn't just wild out right there. And like, I think when Melody kind of says something to Kurapika, he kind of takes it more to heart because Melody's kind of like really nice, honestly.
Yeah,
one of the nicest characters in the show.
Yeah,
So,
she's
like,
a
she
super
takes it
compassionate
serious.
soul. It's like if anything, when the nice guy gets mad, all right, it means something. That's the same thing with Gon. When Gon gets angry or pissed off at someone for doing something, it means something because there's like not a bad bone in Gon's body.
Yeah.
It just doesn't exist. Dude's too pure.
I can't say anything. But yeah, so they take him back to the hotel. Well, after the other, because they had split. Chrollo, who was Chrollo with? Chrollo, Maki, and one other person, and then the Paku and 2 other people chased down Squall and killed him.
No,
Nobunaga,
he was with him as well.
and then I can't remember who
because
else.
the 2 people that came in and they just with their hands up like, "Yo, what the fuck, bro? What happened?" was
Phaeton,
Bates Sphinx. Yeah, Edgelord.
Edgelord. I thought Phaeton was the Edgelord.
Oh yeah, no, it is Phaeton. Finks is him and Phaeton were the ones that came in after what we're about to explain.
Yeah. Well, as soon as they get in there, you notice a character that's really familiar, and it's fucking Leorio just sitting there on the
Oh,
phone.
he's just sitting there with his back, just
And he's on the cell phone, and he's just like, huh? What do you mean you're not here yet? And he's just like complaining with someone, and he's really sending a message. He's like, listen, 7 o'clock on the dot, okay? And like somehow the Phantom Troop doesn't even pick it up.
Dude, some of his anger I thought wasn't even part of it. Like when he was looked over, he was like, "This ain't a show." I feel like he actually did mean that. I feel like he did mean that bit.
It helped.
That
It
wasn't part
helped
of the
make him blend
message.
in, because nobody would know. If someone knew who the Phantom Troop was, they wouldn't say that to them.
He's also not nearly strong enough or important enough.
Mm-hmm. And when there's somebody acting up, you don't want to look at them, because then it makes them like draw to you. And the Phantom Troop didn't want any attention, so Chrollo was just like, "Don't look at him, ignore him." And that was good because he was in on it the whole time.
Yeah, but now since they picked up on it, Big Nose came by and then was gonna read their memories to find out about Kurapika. But then they realized, oh wait, now they're gonna find out that something's gonna happen at 7 on the dot. So now they have to stall until 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and then that's when he was like,
And you get a
"You won't be able to read our memories no matter what you do." And then she's just like, "Shut up! I'll be the decide. I'll decide that."
Well, also, oh yeah, that's exactly what it was. But I think they was it after the 7 o'clock when they attacked? It was. I'm thinking of something. But then yeah, Nobunga like kneels like bends down at them or whatever. Goes, "You sure you guys don't want to join us and whatnot?" "No, I don't want to see your face." I don't want to see your face either. So they could close their eyes.
Oh yeah,
Because
and
they
then
know
their
about the-
eyes.
Yeah. And then some. Probably my favorite part of this scene is that the radio just goes, and then for our final song today, and it's just the Hunter x Hunter OST.
Oh yeah, that was actually pretty sick. Detail.
They definitely did it so they didn't have to pay for any song or make any music. They're like, "Well, I already got this shit on the shelf. Might as well just throw that on the radio."
Yeah, they already paid for the licensing of it. You might as well use it.
Exactly. Ooh, dude! Before the blackout, you hear I hate the sound of like bones getting disjointed.
You
like,
hated that? I thought that was sick.
No. It is sick. I'm talking about the noise.
Oh.
That
What about fucking... First of all, he dislocates his finger so that way he can get free. And then I thought it was badass how he snaps her hand to get free. And then he stabs Maki in the stomach, and her abs are so strong that he catches his hand with her ab muscles and
yeah,
just
that's
holds
right.
his hand there.
forgot about
I was
that
like,
description.
oh my god, she fit.
Yeah,
She
did.
fit.
What was the description? He goes, "She flexed her muscles." I'm like, what?
He's like, "I'm stuck."
Yeah, she shattered Pac's like full.
I know.
Dude, you see that you saw like the big just boop, like the nice little like bump right there. I'm
Mhm.
like, dude, that's not all right. That's not okay.
That was just a crazy exchange. I can't get over that. Her broken arm, and then Maki got that squeeze.
Yeah.
I wonder if...
That all happened
Never
during
mind.
the blackout. That happened all during the blackout, and then the troops gang to now restrain them was to just these kids upside down by their ankles. That's the way. It's like a fucking cat when you grab it by the scruff. The moment you hold Gon and Killua by the legs, that's it. They can't do anything apparently.
That was unfortunate for them, because Nobunaga's ability is like being able to find anything in his end, so he didn't even need lights.
Dude, it spooks me a little bit just seeing his hand just come from the darkness. And
Yeah.
Just, bloop.
And then just snatches him.
Yeah.
Just
that's-
like give up. And Gon's like, damn, you're right, I do. I give up. I like how a callback to when they were Oh wait, no, that's in the future. Never mind.
All Back to the Future.
Yeah,
So
they
this
get
is
captured. To be fair, they get captured quite a few times.
So this is the origins of a callback.
Yeah, this is captured number 2. But right when she reads their fortunes, and finds out, she goes to tell them that not only that the kids know the chain user, but now she knows his Kurapka's weakness, which is that the chains obviously couldn't be used on anyone else,
Oh yeah.
and that uh what was the other thing? The chains can't be used on anybody else, and that Kurapka, like, you were able to tell that Kurapka had a weakness of caring for his friends and whatnot.
Oh yeah, but she wasn't allowed to say anything. The moment that blackout ended, a sword just comes
Yeah.
shooting through the
Was it a
front
sword,
door.
or was it his knife? It looked different.
I thought it was just like a tanto, just a short sword.
It'd have
that
been
just
cool
fucking
if they
threw
did
it.
Luirio's like trademark knife,
No,
the
I don't think-
switchblade.
No, I don't think they threw his switchblade. No, it was like a full sword with a handle and everything, and it just had a little note attached to it. It was good timing because the moment she was like, these kids, just right into the wall.
Yeah, discuss their memories and I'll kill them. Would
I'll
you,
kill the boss.
would you have done it, Chris?
Just their memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chrollo would want me.
That's true.
Is that how you would rationalize it? You'd just be like, nah.
I mean, if I'm in the Spider, the Phantom Troop, like, we all follow Chrollo. What you mean? Whatever he says goes.
That is true. And also, if you remember from her fortune, she says that she'll have to make a choice between pride or betrayal.
They honestly had the advantage. They had 2 hostages.
Yeah. They had the advantage all the way. Honestly, like I'm with Chris on that.
If
yeah.
he brought everybody, Gon and Killua would only been in the way.
Yeah. It makes me want to, at least in this arc, they never explained really the relationship that Chrollo and her had. I mean, I know she was like one of the original members, but is that it? Is it just time, just from her spending time being in the truth? That's why she felt like, okay, the boss can't die. Even though she spent as much time as she has with Chrollo, and she was still going against Chrollo's wishes. They all talked about on that, was that Meteor City, I guess, or whatever. You get a flashback about that later on.
Dude, what about the freaking Don Uvo having a freaking afro in the flashback?
Yo, that guy, he looked real good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god. Yo, you say something like that every episode.
What? He looked.
You liked it?
Yeah, it was a
the,
good
the
fit.
afro flow.
Dude.
I did not expect him to be full 70s.
He looked like he spends most of his days at a basketball court.
Oh my god.
Saying is what
You got
he
the
did.
magic.
He went to the gym, then went to the court, whooped some ass.
Whoop the ass on the court.
Exactly. It was just a good fit. Oh, I think everyone else kind of looked dumb. I think it's always hilarious seeing Benton, Phaeton, Phaeton without, like, when you see his full face, he just looks like a pussy. I'm not gonna lie. I can't take him nearly as seriously when you see his full face.
Yo, is
It's probably why he
this
covers
man's
it.
just a Phaeton hater?
I don't
What
like
it seems
him.
like to me.
Dude, this is the last 2 episodes you've had some shit to say about Phaeton.
I don't-
Say it to his face. I'll draw him right now.
All right, draw him.
I
I'll say it. I don't like his attitude. I think so far from what I've seen of his powers, they're boring.
You haven't even seen his power.
I know. Oh no, he's like, he can chop heads off.
You
And he
chop heads
tortures
off.
people.
Like
I
the
don't
easiest
know.
thing to do. Anybody could chop a head off.
Yeah,
Chop
I don't
chop
know.
Dustin's head off right now.
Give me a knife.
Oh.
That was so scary how he just said that.
You should have said, "Give me a Ben's knife."
He'll do it with a butter knife.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I'll put mine. I'm an enhancer, bro.
Oh, that's right. You are.
Oh no,
doing
he's a
it.
transmuter.
I'm
You're
lying.
You could
That's-
Deceiving.
you could
that's
turn
part of-
Deceiving.
turn your aura into a giant knife.
Never mind.
You just gotta say so. But
Sir.
after this, they go back to the base with Killua and Gom, and they
Yeah.
chain him up.
Yeah, we talked about that, but that's when the Civil War all bit starts, because they start having an argument about whether or not to.
No,
save
this is the
boss or not.
second time that they're at the base.
Well, the time we were talking about with the Civil War, that's during that, because Gon and Killua are already chained up, and then that's when the Civil War starts.
When they go, they have them in the base chained up, and then Paku has a meeting with Kurapka and Hisoka, and he's like, Or no, wait, is it Paku and Chrollo at first? It's just Paku and Chrollo, right?
Well, so the how it works is that Karupka called them on the phone while they were still at the hotel, explaining exactly how everything's gonna go down, what they're gonna do. That she's the only one that can
Yeah,
show
they're
up.
gonna
No
trade
one,
hostages. But then
Yeah.
once they go to trade hostages, at first it's just Paku and Chrollo, right?
Well, there was only one meeting.
Yeah, and it's Paku and Chrollo, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to make sure, because I was a little bit like lost. I didn't know if like I was trying to think if Hisoka went the first time, but I guess he's still at the base.
First time.
Yeah, because they're discussing the negotiations and stuff, and then once Paku goes back to the base, Paku's like, "I'm taking the hostages, and then we're gonna do a fair exchange for Chrollo," and then that's when the two sides started arguing because
Yeah.
Phaeton, basically the original founding members were like, "The hell you are!" Like what Chris was saying, like we have the advantage right now in the numbers of hostages. We should just kill hostages and then go kill the chain user and be done with it. And then Paku is like, no, because then they would kill Chrollo. And then that's when the whole civil war kind of starts. It's like,
Well,
should we save him?
There was a couple founding members that were on board with saving the boss. Rocky, what's her name?
Maki, the girl.
Maki. Yeah, she was down for saving the boss. Nobanga.
Nobunaga.
Nobunga.
Nobunga.
Sarah Nobunga.
He's already said that like 3 times.
Yeah. He was down for saving the boss as well. So honestly, it seemed like more of like the new members were kind of staying quiet, more so, and the founding members were kind of split on it. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, once again, I just love Gon's character. Gon is just listening to them bicker back and forth, and basically Phaeton and them don't even believe that this should even go down at all. Like they think like that the fact that this is even debated is crazy.
Yeah, they're
And-
right. So we all go, right?
And Gon's like, how can you not understand your friend's willingness or your friend's desire to keep their friend alive? And the rest of them are just kind of like stone cold killers. They're like, what do you mean friend? Like this, we're just trying to keep the spider alive. That's the worst case scenario,
They
is
also,
losing the spider.
They also just casually
Yeah.
just flex.
That shit would have been
Rare.
tragic though, because as soon as they broke out of the chains, fucking Phaeton starts powering up his nen. I like that though, because that's another Gon moment. Because he's like, if you take one step, I'm gonna twist your neck off and rip you apart. And he's like, I won't move then. He's freaking
Exactly.
stubborn.
Sticks his tongue out again.
Oh. Yeah, he's a funny kid.
Yeah, and then when we go to the airport, that's when we get the exchange going on. So wait, did they meet up? They first meet up at the airport, right? And Karupka is again finalizing about how this is gonna go because they're going on these airships to go to another spot to then do the prison meetup. That's how it works, dude. You can see on Chrollo's face, he's like kind of disappointed a little bit, and I'm not sure how he feels about
Disappointed that they tried to make the trade.
it.
Yeah, that's what.
I had a hard time because they did a close up on his face, but I couldn't actually tell like exactly how Chrollo was feeling because I don't know. I think I'm making things up. I think I want Chrollo to be a good guy, so I was thinking maybe he was kind of like semi like happy a little bit. No, not even.
Like, why didn't you bring everybody?
Nah.
Why?
Yeah, I'm with Chris on this one. I don't think Chrollo understands that there's members of the troop that view him as more than just the boss.
Yeah.
I think he thinks that he's just the boss, and because he says when he gets captured, he says, I have no value as a hostage. And when Melody hears his heartbeat, she's like, he's telling the truth. He really believes he has no value as a hostage. But like we find out later, like that's complete bullcrap. He does have value as a hostage because it worked. And so I think even Chrollo was unaware at how much his comrades wanted to save him. He just kind of assumed that they would all just let him die. And I think it kind of like messes with him a little bit, honestly. Because now he can't really, he never really thought about not being able to talk to the troop, and now he can't.
Yeah, that's true.
But I definitely think he was a little pissed when they didn't bring everyone and then just start clapping cheeks right there, because that's how the troop would do things.
But he still could not be as nearly as disappointed and pissed off as once again, Karupka gets angry again. Because she didn't ask any questions of, she just said, okay, yeah, I'm alright with this deal. And Karupka's like, why aren't you asking any questions? Don't you realize that this is an unreasonable deal?
That looked
Are
really
you not okay with
weak.
this? And she was just like, I just kind of want this to be over with and done. Can we just finish this up now? Want the
Mhm.
boss back, thank you.
That's because Kurapika hates killing people, and the reason Kurapika was able to kill the troop is because Kurapika's like, okay, the Phantom Troop is just like Uvo. When he asked Uvo, what do you think when you kill people? He's like, nothing at all. I love killing people. So killing Uvo wasn't as hard. But then when he sees Paku going through the same hoops that Kurapika is going through to save Gon and Killua, but for Chrollo, I think Kurapika starts to see like the humanity behind the troop. And I think that kind of like messes with his head a little bit because he's like, am I the bad guy?
Are we the baddies?
Yeah, are we the baddies?
Yeah, I guess Kurapika's not used to seeing a Phantom Troop member be like submissive. That's not like, that doesn't really. It doesn't make any sense for him.
That was
Is a him.
I think Kurapika just imagined killing the Phantom Troop would feel better than it is, honestly. Like, I
That's-
think he thought he would
typical
feel...
for anyone that's vengeful.
I just
Yeah.
thought they didn't feel.
Not
like
really.
empathy.
I feel like Sasuke was hype as fuck to kill Danzo.
What was that?
Didn't feel like the Phantom Troop had empathy for anybody
Yeah.
because they savagely slaughtered his entire village.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that keeps in line with Tom's thought. Yeah, they just didn't think that was possible. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think about the exchange, though? Like, do you think it showed true colors, or you thought it went how you would
I mean,
expect
it just basically showed Kurapika's internal conflict. He's like, why do I feel like a bad guy even though these guys are the bad guys?
Yeah.
What is going
Yeah.
on?
Spot on.
And he
Exactly.
just got like he's figuring out stuff about himself. Really, it's like Kurapika's growth, sort of.
I guess it makes sense. These kids are going through like their
Yeah, they are like teenagers.
yeah, they're going through their
I'm
adolescence.
teenager,
right
just
now.
like you.
I can relate to them. Yeah, I thought it was really cool, dude. If you really think about it, like, it makes sense for like after like near the end of like all of this exchange. It was around this point it was starting to click to me. Like I was like, dude, Kurapika's getting like really pissed off a lot more frequently now. It's not just because like he's realizing himself. I'm also thinking, you know, I've never seen Kurapika sleep since this whole thing started. Has he slept? Has he done anything to like for himself, for his health? Like he must like I was thinking like this the mental toll that must be going on Kurapika right now. It must be absolutely insane.
Dude went to sleep, I think, one time after he killed Uvo, and Melody was like, you look like shit. You should rest. And Kurapika's like, oh, okay. I think I'll do that.
Yeah.
And then after that, I don't think he rested at all. You're right.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because he looked batshit tired on the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because it takes a lot. It took a lot out of him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He's literally putting his hatred onto their hearts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would probably take a lot
Damn,
of
I never
mental
thought that. That's
energy.
Yeah,
intense.
he's literally
Yeah.
putting
Intense.
his entire grudge onto them, and like that, basically a piece of him. He's taking a piece of him, putting it on them.
Dude.
That's deep.
Like,
actually-
that's
I
what
didn't think
actually-
of it like
That's
that.
really
actually
what it is.
didn't.
Though.
Oh my god.
Residual nen.
Yeah, Sasuke's got nothing.
Kurapika? Sasuke still slaps.
No, Sasuke still slaps. I'm
Oh,
talking I'm talking
okay.
about just the level of just
You mean like the level of character dev?
yeah, dude, Kurapika is putting literal hate in someone. That's just intense. It's just very intense. I just feel like he's a very intense character.
Better than putting a salad in someone.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Nothing. It was a Sakura joke. A shitty Sakura joke.
Alright.
But the end, fucking when they exchange hostages or whatever, and Paku, they ended up letting Hisoka on board because he was like, I would kill Gon and Killua if you don't let me on the airship with them. But then I like how he's like, just kidding, I would never do something so wasteful in his head.
Yeah.
But he trolls his way onto the airship to
He
fight
really does just troll his way.
to fight Chrollo. My favorite thing about that is Hisoka has no designated like plot that he's trying to fulfill. He just is doing everything for the heck of it.
Just a fight.
Just
That's
for
all
the
it
heck of
is.
it.
There
Just
is-
because he
there is
thinks it
no
would
end
be
goal.
entertaining.
Yeah, there is no end goal. He's a clown.
Like he threatens Killua, or he threatens Kurapika to
Hisoka's
kill
the
him.
Joker.
Joker's a fire character.
I'd say he wasn't a bad character. He's still a clown though.
He is. This is gonna be an ongoing joke.
It is. He's. Anyways, yeah.
Dustin's just a hater. He be hating on everybody. Phaeton, Hisoka, doesn't matter.
No, I like Hisoka. I don't like Phaeton though. No, I'm gonna come out and just say I don't like Phaeton.
Phaeton don't like you.
I don't think he likes anyone.
Dustin saw one character like himself that does nothing but wear black and was like, "This is fucking bullshit, bro."
Giving me bad rep, dog. He's giving me bad rep.
Phaeton is looks like a badass. I don't know what you're talking about. You're the only person I think I've ever seen that's like, you know what? Screw this guy.
I wear black and have skulls. That's how you know I'm dangerous.
Don't you wear
That's
black
you
and have
to
skulls?
a T, bro.
Well, the skulls that I wear is from a YouTuber. I
I
wear a lot of black though.
It's different for me, okay?
Yeah, because I don't kill people. I'm not trying to look edgy.
We don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know.
Look, all right. I'm not talking about my side gig.
FBI has entered the chat.
Stream goes down, computer turns off, lights are out.
That'd be scary.
It would be scary. God forbid there was a blackout the moment I said that.
I was waiting for something to happen. I don't know why I thought there was gonna be like a random blackout.
I'm gonna try to will it into existence real quick.
Will it into existence. Exactly. But I like how when Hisoka gets onto the freaking the airship, he goes from "let me on" or "I'm gonna kill Killua and Gon" to he's like, "Yeah, I got my way." And he's just flipping through his cards like, "Yeah, about to fight Chrollo, strongest guy in the world." You know? Like I just loved how like he's
Yeah.
just in it no matter what.
A small child,
And
he's
then-
finally getting what he wants.
Yeah, and then
It's like Christmas.
they let Chrollo off and they let Hisoka off. And then this was your favorite, I feel like, part of the entire arc.
Oh yeah, dude, it was hilarious. It was the biggest cucking I've ever seen.
You texted me immediately.
I thought it was hilarious. Hisoka goes, "Finally, we can have the battle of our lives. It will be legendary." And then Chrollo just hits him with, "Hey, by the way, because of Kurapika, I can't use any Nen." Nope. Just completely just from he's flaccid now. I'm just gonna keep it real.
He's flaccid.
I'm just gonna keep it real. I think it immediately I think after that just smash cuts to just Hisoka just on back on the airship.
Mm-hmm.
He's like okay, well, like he just pouts.
Mm-hmm.
So that reminds me.
He says, "I have no interest in broken toys."
Well, that also, yeah, that reminds me. So was the entire intention just to leave Chrollo there? Because Chrollo was like left there, right?
He couldn't go back with Paku
He wasn't
because
allowed to have any contact at all with the troop. That was his.
Oh, I completely forgot
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I think I was completely just too fixated on the Hisoka thing. Yeah, he's just getting put out there just by himself.
yeah.
He's
Well,
he's
his
on a new adventure.
Yeah, his fortune said when something about you feel lonesome, go east or some crap like that.
Oh yeah.
The one you search for is east, and then the last shot we get a Chrollo. He's like by himself. He's like east, huh? But I think it's important to note that the reason he was able to talk to Hisoka was because Hisoka pulled off the Phantom Troop thing.
Oh yeah.
And I like that. I like that little detail. Like
literally
now
said
it was
that.
okay.
He's like, well, I guess since you're not part of the troop, I can talk to you.
You know, I feel like. Do you think this answers the question? You remember when we were talking about what are the limits to these things? Like if Kurapika used the chains on Hisoka without knowing he wasn't really a troop member,
Oh, yeah.
would that affect him? When Chrollo tells Hisoka that he can't fight him because he can no longer use Nen, Pakunodo is eavesdropping. So she hears Chrollo talk.
Yeah.
So that's communication with a troop member,
But I
kinda.
feel like okay.
So I guess it doesn't count if you're not
That was
knowingly.
about intent.
I would assume, because that's what I kind of took from it, because Paku heard it.
Yeah, it's got to be about intent. They had to intend to tell people communication.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it should have been salty if he just dropped right there? She stayed
Oh,
within
yeah,
listening
so-
distance.
Oh my gosh, that would have been. Oh yeah, you would have been salty.
Dustin, what do you think Chrollo is gonna go looking for in the east? 'Cause he's like, all we know is that he's got the chain wrapped around the heart, and residual Nen after death can really tear someone up. So they can't do anything to Chrollo or to Kurapika until
someone
the
that
Nen.
can remove Nen.
Someone that can remove Nen.
Yes.
Like you think that'd be like an ability?
Yes. Someone that can either manipulate other people's Nen or completely nullify it. That's his only feasible situation of getting out of that. If he ever intends to get back with the spiders. If he doesn't intend to get back with the spiders, then it can be fucking anyone. Literally anyone. If he intends to get back with the spiders or get back to the chain user to Kurupka, he needs to have someone that's gonna have an ability to remove Nen.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only feasible thing I can think of. So
I think you're gonna like this next arc a lot.
Great Island. Dude, I liked it. I think it was cool. I like the tutorial bot.
Why do you think he's gonna like the next arc?
I feel like Dustin likes anime like that or games.
Or you just say that because I like Dot Hack.
You like a lot of games more than Dot Hack. Overlord.
I might have a stereotype. It's just fun. It's just fun. No, this one I like. I think it's hilarious. It reminds me of this old movie. I think it was literally called Gamers.
Gamers.
Yeah, it was like an early like 2000s like horror film, and the whole tagline goes, "If you die in the game, die in real life."
Called Jumanji, bro.
No. There's Jumanji, but this was like one of those like old crappy like sci-fi
Yeah,
like
that's
straight to
exactly.
video ones. It was so hilarious. It was so just poorly done, and every time I say like I think of Great Island, just think of that.
When after Chrollo leaves, Paku heads back, kind of totally defeated, heads back to the spider's base. And when she left, they were like, if you don't come back with Chrollo, I'm going to start killing off all the members that are being controlled by the chain user and then rebuild the spider. So she shows up without Chrollo, so shit's about to get real. So she's like, you know what, screw it, and pulls out her memory gun or whatever. And
Forgot
she's
about
just
this
like,
bit, yeah.
she's just like, do you trust me or not? Because she has 6 shots for the 6 founding members, which is Maki, I don't even know, Maki, Phaeton, Nobunaga, herself.
Why does she have a bullet for
I don't
herself?
know, but like, did she not count herself? She's a founding member.
Well,
Franklin,
she would probably
and I don't remember who I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
Was Shizuku a founding member?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she shoots all of them. I don't know why she shot her. She's just gonna forget. But and it basically explains everything that happened. So they've learned everything. They know Kurupka's. Well, I guess Kurupka removed that weakness from himself, but now they know that Gon and Killua are
they know the plot.
the secret.
There's no misinformation about like
Yeah.
how things went down.
Yeah, they know exactly how to get Kurupka if they wanted to, which would be to get Gon and Killua. And I thought that was hilarious because Gon and Killua go to enjoy the auction the next day, and they walk in,
Yeah, I
and
love
Phaeton and Finks are just in this
Yeah, they
freaking
just
back
look at each
row.
other, they're just like, "Nani?" It's just hilarious.
That was just great. That's like seeing someone you don't want to see in public.
Immediately bolt.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry, we're not gonna kill you.
That was actually interesting though, because they ended up earning their respect, honestly, because they could have dipped on Pakunodo, but they didn't want Kurupka to kill Chrollo because they didn't want their friend to kill someone, so they walked with her and wanted to do a fair exchange. That, and also, I think Gon would be cheating if they didn't do a fair exchange, so I don't think it's in his character trope to lie and not do a fair exchange and just like have someone get killed.
Pure boy, pure lad.
Yeah. So they end up doing the exchange fairly, and I thought that was pretty cool because it almost looked like the Phantom Troop actually liked them a little bit, or at least Finks did. Phaeton still got stank face, like, no matter what.
They got showed up by a bunch of teenagers, man. Of course, I'm gonna respect him a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the last little bit, they end up needing to get the game because I guess YorkNew is basically over. The last thing they need to do is Gon and Killua's original objective, and I thought was pretty crazy. The game sold the different copies sold. One of them sold for like 24, the other one sold for 32, and then the very last one
Like
sold for
75.
$8 billion. Can you imagine?
There was like a news report that was going on about the guy that bought it all. The news report said that he spent it was something like crazy, like 60% of his wealth on these video games or something. Absolutely crazy.
Yup, sounds like me and digital purchases on like Fortnite and stuff.
Sounds like me on League, dude.
Definitely. That's how
So
it
much money
is.
synced into that. I could have bought a car with all the money I spent on League.
Jesus. Like a good car?
No.
Oh.
Still a car though. I'd say a good car.
A vroom vroom car.
A car that works better than my current one, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But-
Oh, so we've talked about you asked me, one of you guys asked me about my prediction on the last one about how they're gonna get Greed Island or what their plan is.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought they were gonna straight up steal it. I thought it was cool that, like, of course they have a video game for hunters. They're gonna need players. I never thought about having an audition for them. That's what they're gonna have to do. They need an audition for players for Greed Island.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good twist. Chris, do you remember like when you first watched it? I know it's like a long callback, but how did you think they were going to be able to get the game? Did you think they were going to be able to buy it, or did you think they were just going to have to, like Dustin predicted last week, steal it?
They're gonna buy it.
You thought they were going to get the money?
Yeah, from like just off the rip, like they were trying to save money, so I assumed they would try to get it. But then when the auction came, they didn't get it.
Yeah, I think they realized that pretty quickly, because I think the original bids were like, they were planning on having like 800 million or something like that, and copies were going for 2 billion, low.
Yeah.
So like they had no realistic chance at all. You know how many arm wrestling matches that would have been?
Yo, Gone accidentally got respect from the buyer because like Gone was like, "What does this mean?" And like, and it's been doubled.
Dude, can you imagine if you'd have won it?
How are they gonna pay for it? We're gonna do dishes for the auction house for the next like 200 years or something like that. There's no way they're gonna be able to
Dishes.
pay that.
They just want to play the game, bro.
Yeah, they just
Money
wanna
don't
play, bro.
matter.
Let me play.
Sure.
What did you think about it being?
play, bro. Let me play.
What'd you think
It's my turn on the Creed Island.
What did you think about the throwback of needing like multi taps and stuff to play the game? I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
that was so hilarious. I haven't seen a multi tap since PS2.
Dude, I didn't have enough friends to use multi-taps.
Me either, but still.
Tommy got a multi-tab on his PC. What you talking about?
Facts, I got a multi tap.
That's crazy. I thought it was pretty cool though. And then the whole audition happened. I didn't think anything like too unique happened with the audition. I think it was just a pretty cool display of power. I like how I did like the callback, the throwback. They're like, because they were asking, he was asking Kurapka, was like, need help with figuring out a special attack, and Kurapka was like, I can't do this for you. I'm still like recovering and whatnot. How you just like try calling your own master? Was that Kurapka that said that? And he just goes, show them everything.
Do it.
Do it. Show them everything you got. So that was pretty neat. Because at first the auditioning guy was like, just like show me your Ren, specifically your Ren.
Good to see how powerful they were.
Yeah. Which makes you really wonder like how strong the other guys were, because they're still pretty powerful. So was that just kind of
Yeah.
like a scam? Like did he want people to think outside the box or something?
For what?
The auditioner guy, the audition guy was like, show me your Ren. But I feel like no one's Ren was gonna be powerful enough. I feel like that was just like a scam question. It was like actually I want you to do something else to show me your power.
No, if someone's really strong and they release their Ren, then you'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
I think when he was like, release your Ren, he expected to do the thing that Wing told Gon to do.
Oh, show him.
Gon was like, show him everything, because it's like a big explosion of power. And I was just telling Chris this. I want to make sure there's no spoilers here. They've shown like Gon and Killua past, right?
No, past. Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't
episode
finish that.
60 is that they
Okay.
got into Greed Island.
So like you saw Killua's like thing,
his lightning. Yeah.
his lightning, and
So
then
cool.
it. Correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't show you what Gon does, right? It's just a loud explosion, and then he walks
no,
out.
You get an idea about what it is because he starts thinking about it, and you see that he's like putting all of his nen into his fist, and that's about all you get out of it.
Mm.
So he's just copying you.
He's Ubu.
Ooh,
Ooh ooh. I hate myself. I hate myself for saying that. I hate it so much. I don't like it.
You don't like it? It's okay. It's part of you now.
Oh my god, it's never gonna be deleted. Can't delete that.
No, you can't.
But yeah, he goes. Killua goes in, shows off his lightning and whatnot, which was insanely sick, by the way. I also loved it was like that he flexed on him, because he did his entire training with just a taser, and then the one goes, you have to undergo years of high intensity electrical training, and Killua's just like, it's all in the family, just family things.
He
Already-
did though.
Huh?
I mean, he kind of did.
No, he did. That's what I thought was hilarious. I thought it was just funny. Is that yeah, he had that exact training done just from how it is, from existing in that family, essentially. And
Yeah,
and it was
getting
also it's
tortured.
also still a pretty good flex that he didn't need any strong currents. He was still able to procure that just from a taser. So it's not like he went out and like hugged like a junction box or anything like that.
Still kind of charged himself up though.
Yeah, and it was just still a small charge relative to torturing someone with electricity. So still pretty cool.
I like the foreshadow from the Heaven's Arena arc though, because when fighting the electricity guy, he gets
Oh,
bit,
yeah.
and he's like, "Yeah, this would probably mess up a normal person, but since I've been a kid, I had to go through torture training with my family, so I'm used to electrical currents." So, like, that's why the one dude was kind of like, "What did he have to endure to be able to do
Yeah.
this?"
It makes sense why that Killua's Hatsu is electric.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then Gones is like an explosion.
Yep.
Like you didn't get to see what it was. It was just like boom. Did you see any other characters during the tryouts that you think are going to be prominent during the Great Island arc or no?
Yeah, because they explain a little bit of like who's gonna pass and whatnot. It's either the people that immediately got in line or those that waited. I believe. I think that was what the thick jaw man. I don't think they ever said his name. I can't remember.
Thick Jaw Man.
His jaw is larger than his head, man.
That is now his name. I don't care.
He looks like he can break boulders with a bite.
Maybe it's his power.
Maybe. But I think I'm pretty sure
He's the
what
Crimson Chin.
I think how they explain it was that it's the Crimson Chin is that if you his prediction was like if you are the first in line or you wait for everyone else to go through, that you're most likely gonna pass because that was just the rule set really. And then when we saw it, we saw Chin Wonder in there.
Chin Wonder.
We saw the tiny girl with the dress that looked like that was probably the same age as Gon and Killua. And I'm not going to lie, I got spoiled a little bit because I actually watched the outro for the first time because it was the last episode, so I actually watched the outro. And in the outro, they have a bunch of scenes where it's Gon, Killua, and that kid with the dress, the girl with the dress and everything. So I'm like, okay, so I guess she's important.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess she's going to mean something at some point. But as for the rest of the people, I'm not really sure. I'm sure like the teeth clatterer, sure he's gonna have some sort of played a part, but I don't know how important he's actually gonna be though.
Chris, are you excited for this arc?
I don't think you can ask me that, bro.
Why?
Because I've seen it.
I know, but I mean, do you
I mean,
enjoy it?
How does it rank with YorkNew City? Like, is it like pretty close, like in like terms of
This is my opinion though, but it's still good. I think. I don't think it's bad. It's important, but I don't think it's as.
You don't think it's as strong as the art?
I don't know because I'm not even. I can't because like I want to say spoilers.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's fair.
But like I think it's pretty good. Like I think it's essential because they kind of build on what they found out they want their power to be. You know.
That's true. That makes sense. It's also got some pretty high stakes going on there.
And the game is definitely relevant to Gon because his dad gave him the memory card.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I also like how Gon decided to start a new memory save because he had the option of using the old save. But he's like, nope.
What do you think the old save would have done?
Maybe like kind of like a new game plus sort of deal. Maybe he would already had like I don't know a bunch of the cards already or something like that. It would have kind of like fast tracked him to find like the important items first, something like that.
What if his dad just intended for him to get the game and like turn it on, and like the clue is in that memory card,
Yo.
and Gon was just like delete.
Yeah, the item's right in front of him. All he has just is collected, and that's the clue, and then he's out of the game. Done. He's only been there for like 10 minutes, in and out.
What did you think about? It's kind of back a bit, but when they were auctioning off the game, it's actually made of Nen. You were trying to smash it with the hammer. Like that was. What do you think about that? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it. It was probably to preserve the players that are actually inside the game, I assume. Because otherwise, you could just have literally just any random dude just threw down the console and it's broken. Up there goes 16 people dead now.
Yeah. It's better than pulling an Elon Musk and be like, ladies and gentlemen, the invincible game system, and then smashing it and it breaks into a million pieces. Because he was trying to do the Cybertruck and he was like, you can't break this. And he throws the fucking brick through the window.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about the Cybertruck. Dude. Wild, absolutely wild. And then yeah, they get sent to ominous castle that just has a dungeon filled with all the game consoles after they initially pass.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like probably when this first aired, that probably was like a wet dream for some kids. Like, oh my gosh, a room just filled with consoles and like ports and when everyone could just run. Can you imagine like
LAN party.
yeah, dude. Imagine having like 120 person LAN party in a dungeon.
Literally a tournament.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
gaming tournament.
It'd be pretty sick. I was pretty excited when I saw that. I was like, ooh, that looks nice. I like that. Yeah, I don't really care. I didn't really care about the tutorial bot system. When eventually Gon volunteers to go first in the game and he disappears. Oh yeah, we didn't mention that 2 Phantom Troop members took the game.
I was just about to get to that.
Yeah.
The last like really important detail is what was it? I guess Finks and
Phaeton.
is Phaeton.
Yep.
Yeah, Finks and Phaeton are like, hey, you guys want to play a game?
They just casually say that too.
Yeah, I like how they never have any difficulty knowing how they're gonna get their hands on the game. They just kill them and take
They
one.
literally said, "We are bandits after all."
But I thought they already. I guess they didn't already have one. They must not have. That must have been like 3 of the auction, and day 2 is the one they ripped off.
Probably. That's probably what it was.
That must be. But I like how they just kill them and take the game. And it's just a coincidence that Gon and Killua are there. That's the one thing. Like, you think that's gonna play a prominent role that the troop members are there, or do you think they're just gonna go in there and be like, meh, who likes games? I like killing people in real life.
I think since they know about they are aware that if you die in the game, you die in real life. That probably is gonna feel the same for them, I guess. I mean, why else would they play it? You know?
For the fucks.
Yeah, for the fucks of it, I guess. Yeah, but I don't know, because they don't know that. Well, I guess they knew that Gon and Killua wanted the game, right? But they didn't hop into the game specifically for Gon and Killua. They just did it just because, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know how it's gonna be. I don't know how they're gonna. They're obviously they gotta meet up, right? They're gonna have to meet up. And they're gonna meet up in some way or fashion. Someone's gonna die.
That's your prediction? Someone dies?
So absolutely, gotta see about the severity of the game.
What if I told you Gon would die? Would you believe me?
I'm gonna stop watching Hunter x Hunter now. This is where the series ends. Gon dies. Your soul. Can't let this good boy die.
So the next arc, obviously, we're gonna go from episodes, I guess, what is it, 60 to 70? It's almost exactly 10 episodes again. You just go 60 to 70 and finish up Greed Island.
Okay.
I'll have to double check that. It might be like 12. If so, we'll finish the Greed Island arc for the next podcast.
Yeah, I'm just excited I get to watch more tonight.
Yeah.
I was literally sitting in my computer like, dude, I don't know what anime I want to watch. And that's when I hit you guys up like, are we doing the podcast today?
You're just like, oh yeah, let's do the podcast today so I can watch more episodes.
Exactly. Enjoying it. Gets better and better every time.
Yeah, I'm not.
We're shitting on this at first.
I absolutely was, dude. Unironically, doing this series has opened my eyes on like how I've like first perceived like a lot of anime, like the first couple episodes or whatever. And it's definitely doing this is gonna make me want to watch other anime and stick with it for quite a while, for at least like a full arc on whatever show, just to see how it is instead of just judging it from like the first like episode or 2.
Do you think it's fair to say, honestly, even with the first like 20 episodes, do you think it's fair to say that the Hunter exam arc and then YorkNew City arc, they almost look like 2 different animes, like as far as everything goes?
The tone shifts so much between the exam arc and
Not just the
getting to
tone, but
city.
even the power system completely changes.
Yeah, it's a complete rule breaker. It was really grounded, respectively, at first, and then it just went straight into power scaling immediately,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm fine with personally. I don't mind it.
What do
I
you
think
think?
it helped the anime more than it would hurt it.
What do you think, Chris? Do you think it's that each arc has kind of got its like own distinct feel?
No, I feel like this arc is where the show kind of gets like a realistic sort of approach, because they're like have to take actual risks other than users, and they realize like how much everybody can defer.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, but I think it sets you up for probably greater things. Maybe.
Maybe, possibly. Possibly.
Possibly.
No, actually, it just gets more boring from here on out.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
this was the peak of the show, bro.
Oh, damn.
It's good. Honestly, I loved the Phantom Troop arc, and honestly, I had to really sit down and consider whether or not Chimera Ant was my favorite arc, because Chris's vote is for York New City is the best arc, and like I honestly like about halfway through it, I was like, man, like this might open my eyes. There's a lot more deep stuff in this arc than I like initially realized when I watched it the first way through.
Yeah.
Like I feel like every time I watch an episode or a clip, I learn a new little detail about the show I didn't know before, and it really had everything. It had action when Chrollo fought Zeno and Silva. It had suspense. Like I didn't know if Kurapika was gonna be able to beat Uvo or not. Like I thought that was I didn't expect him to fight the Phantom Troop that early on in the series at all.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. And it even had mystery in it. Like I really liked the riddles that were done with
Deciphering the fortunes.
the fortunes. I thought those were really well done. It made the person think really hard about the show. And I also liked the little detail at the end when none of the fortunes end up coming true, that he and Hisoka looks at Pakunodo and says, by the way, my fortune mentioned that by the end of the week I would have a date with the boss on Tuesday, and half of the troop's members would be depleted by that time. And he's like, or step by step, fate is changing just a little bit or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I thought that was really dope, because it really is like the decisions they're making, like Chris was saying, are all really meaningful, and I think it sets it up well for future arcs. But anyway, Dustin, do you have any final thoughts on York New City?
I don't have any exactly final thoughts on this particular arc, but I do have like thoughts on this series as a whole right now, because we're 7 episodes deep into this now, and one thing that I've been like really against
The
that
podcast.
the podcast. The one thing I've been like really against that for a lot of time when I watch anime is that when I finish an anime, I don't like to rewatch it for some reason. It just even if I really like the anime, I just don't rewatch it. But watching you guys rewatch Hunter x Hunter while I'm watching it the first time, kind of like is giving me incentive to find like other people, or if you do another series of this or whatever. I'm actually excited to rewatch anime that I've seen before with someone that's never seen it before. So I'm very happy about it. I'm excited now to see like any details I might have missed to make me love a show that I already love even.
So you think you would already say you love Hunter x Hunter? Like it's one of your top, like it's up there?
We're dating.
You're
I don't say I'm in love with it. We're dating. We're seeing each other.
not dropping that L word yet.
Oh yeah, I'm in there.
Are you? This is we really got to get to this man here, because this is his favorite arc. Like what's your final thoughts on this York New City arc? Any final questions for Dustin, or just honestly general takes that some people may not have, or
I got
unique
a general
perspectives?
take. This is the best arc in the show.
Okay. Fair enough. Drop. Just done.
That's it. Look.
Drop the mic on that one.
He's like, I don't need evidence. Evidence is in the show.
Watch it. I just think it's the best because like it sets you up for kind of what's coming
Yeah.
in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Because like shit is the show's kind of epic. Like you're seeing right now that like shit is the scale has jumped. It was down here, and then you see
Yeah.
all this, and it's up. So it kind of
Yeah.
sets you up for like things you're gonna see later.
So, I want to ask you a question specific about Hunter x Hunter, because we talked about this before with JoJo actually, because I was getting ready to start part 5, and I was talking to you about it, and you're like, yo, part 5's a rule breaker arc. It's a rule breaker series. Is there a rule breaker arc in Hunter x Hunter?
What do you mean a rule breaker?
Well, in like JoJo, there's like established rules with like stands powers and whatnot, and then with part 5, there's certain events in there. They're like, well,
I mean, yeah, this one had rule breakers. Kurapika's like, I can only use my chains on the Phantom Troop.
oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. But I
But
didn't
he
know if
could
there was
use them on
anything-
anybody.
Oh yeah, actually, I would say that his Scarlet Eyes is the real rule breaker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I just think like Hatsu is your hate. So if you hate somebody enough, or like it's his intent or his will or whatever, right? So if he
Yeah.
hates something enough, he could do whatever he wants. Because he hated the Phantom Troop so much, it made his ability that strong.
Nen's broken. Nen's broken.
Nen is broken.
Nen's absolutely broken in power.
If I could pick one power system though for real life, I feel like Pretty sick one.
Also, arguably be like not that hard to learn, really.
No, I was telling Chris, like, what if you could really learn Nen and people just don't go through the effort of doing it? Like, you see those monks in like China that are kicking like steel rods over and over again and
Ugh.
like bending them.
Yeah,
How's he doing that, yo? Like, he could be an enhancer. You never know.
they're all enhancers. We just don't know the other types yet. Right now, the only type available is an enhancer.
The only type available is enhancer.
We
That's
got-
actually that's actually kind of true. True. When you break a bone, it grows back stronger. You've enhanced your bone.
Do they grow back stronger? I thought they
I
were-
don't know. That might be just some bullshit lie you tell kids.
I think that is a bullshit lie you tell, because I'm pretty sure your bone is like weaker actually.
Next, you're gonna tell me that the moon isn't made of cheese. Come on, Dustin.
No, that's facts.
All right,
We think mozzarella balls are in the shape of. They're respecting the moon. That's when they come in little round balls.
this man just blew my mind.
Get me out of here.
I want to take this moment to give a special thank you to everyone that tuned in for episode 7 of the podcast. It was probably our longest podcast to date, but that's okay because we're starting to get the hang of this thing. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.